G'day, everybody, and welcome back to the Hardball Gets AFL show. This podcast is proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do ute. Today on the show, it's the 6 points going into round 17. If you haven't subscribed wherever you listen to your pods, please do that. Leave us a rating, leave us a review, and tell your mates. All right, let's get stuck in. This is the Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Chris Robinson. What's going on?
Jeez, I was a lot better before you did the between intro and the song playing and us coming back.
I had a couple of beats to get through to get that jumper off.
You've ripped off your jumper. You've exposed your torso to the entire podcast studio. You started dancing to our intro music whilst somewhat shirtless.
I think that was just me trying to take my jumper off.
Or is that just the manoeuvre?
Yeah, it's the manoeuvre.
There's a lot going on there.
You just got too aroused, mate. It's okay. It happens. These things happen.
I'm only human.
You know? Bears are an enticing breed.
Together. Forever, we will be united.
Are we actually recording right now?
Yeah,
we are.
Mate. This is it.
Like
fast and loose.
Do you know what I'm really disappointed about? I listened to you guys on Monday. Excellent pod, by the way, as always.
Oh, good. I thought you just going to say the entire thing.
No, that was it. I was intrigued and agreed with the green shoots discussion about replacing it with the sourdough starter kind of thing. And then literally hours later, Adam Simpson...
Don't say green shoots.
Green shoots.
No, see, you didn't know yet. It wasn't released, probably.
You don't think he'd heard it by that point?
He'd get a briefing on his desk of all the key points from the Hardball Gets 2 minute warning.
Do you reckon
just in case they come up?
Bread in capital letters.
I honestly reckon if we have Carlton supporters that listen to us,
they'd be
slide into Nick's DMs, and just if the words green shoots give you like fingernails down a chalkboard sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Every week, green shoots. No, we don't want green shoots. Green shoots gotta go.
Those green shoots never really came through for them.
No, they didn't, and that was the problem. Yeah. They heard it 50 times.
Even now.
And they don't use it anymore.
They still haven't sprouted.
No.
All right, so this is the 6 points going into the round. Anything to table, or should we just get into it?
Has anyone got Jai Amos as one of their points?
No. Normally we have this discussion off air, but...
Nah.
I wanted to ask the long-term contract question, seeing as Zave is the most ardently against it. This one seems different.
2029.
20. How old is he? He's 20.
19.
I think 19 still.
19, yeah. No. That's fine.
This one's fine with you?
No. 5 I would have ticked. 6.
Well, technically it was a 4-year extension.
Yeah, well, you don't ever need to be 6 years in front of where you are.
You know what struck me?
But I did make a strong case now, because I have got quite a few mates that are on the punt on Amos for
Rising Star.
Rising Star, like $26.
He's coming.
They're like, you got to beat that horse, and I'm just going hard now.
you got to get it over the line.
I smashed Will Ashcroft today in a thing I did.
Overrated.
I like Ashcroft.
Yeah.
I end up just burying him.
Harry Sheasel, who's he?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's he done lately?
Mitch Owens, 2 uncontested. Take a contested mark, mate. Come on.
5 years, yes, I would have ticked. Okay. 6 years, I still think it's too much.
2029 sounds to me like the Jetsons' future, flying cars. It seems like a long way away.
What's Blakey, 31?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's into the 30s.
Yeah, he's well in the 30s.
Actually, I think the Jetsons was set in like 2002.
The Jetsons... No, it's later than that.
Is it?
There was a great point...
Can you find out when the Jetsons...
There was a great point at one stage, either last year or the year before, where it was like someone had looked on Wikipedia as to when George Jetson was, like, what his date of birth is. And it was like 9 months before that, and someone's
2062, we got plenty of time.
Yeah, so George was born in like 2022 or 2021 or something, and someone had gone like 9 months beforehand and gone, hey.
Who's the parents?
George Jetson's getting made today.
Did you never watch the Jetsons as a child?
Never.
Was there a TV?
No. What? Are you familiar with the show?
I don't know what they look like. What do they look like?
You ever seen the flying cars?
You know how
Elroy, his boy Elroy.
Zave, you know how there's the Flintstones?
I thought that was like the Simpsons.
Do you know the
Flintstones?
Yeah, Fred.
It was like the opposite of that. Like the Flintstones was set back in time. The Jetsons was set forward.
I never got the Jetsons.
I had a VHS where it was like the Flintstones meet the Jetsons. It was like a time travel thing.
That's
unbelievable.
Unsettling.
I've got to go back and find it. It's probably on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Relive the memories.
I'll have to get an update on how it went for
Bit of time travel, bit of two worlds colliding. Right in my wheelhouse as a child.
Mate, I just told you last episode.
I know you barely had it, mate.
I'm not into the magic stuff or the fake stuff, so no, I didn't sit and watch a cartoon.
It's not the fake, it's the future.
Tell you what, though, I did watch last night a lot of serial killer stuff. Did you know, what was the one? She killed a lot of blokes. So you always have serial killers, but who are predominantly men.
Yeah.
This was a female one, and she got the men into the car just by saying some
just enticing
them
things.
and then killing them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Speaking of female serial killers, show on Amazon at the moment, Deadlock, Australian show set in Tassie, very good.
Deadlock?
Yeah, very good.
That might be me tonight.
Murder mystery, jump in. Amazing.
Is it
one
true,
left in the season.
True story?
No. Funny murder mystery set in Tasmania. It's good. No magic.
It's good when they work a level of levity into the idea of killing lots of people. Yeah, that's what you need.
But there's no
more
magic. It's very real world.
Okay.
It'll be okay for you. Won't
There's
be
no
too far out of
abracadabra?
bounds. No one says abracadabra.
Is it about being so cold playing at Lonnie that you just want to murder somebody because you're just freezing?
It's actually just a recreation of Buddy's 13. How he murdered North Melbourne.
Any dragons?
No dragons.
Jeez, that might be me.
Yeah, you can jump onto it, mate, and feel safe. All right, well, let's kick it off. What do you got for us, Robert?
Me first? All right, well, I thought I'd do a little bit of just a quick health check on West Coast list. So this is the longest line that we've seen for a game in a decade going into the Brisbane game. So it's currently 82 and a half or 81 and a half.
82 and a half.
Which is a lot. And it's justified, obviously, because of everything that they are. So what they're looking at this weekend is probably a little bit different. So I just want you to give me a quick number here off the top of your head. Don't give me names. Of the 13 most experienced guys on West Coast list, how many of them are going to play this weekend? Just give me a number. What do you reckon it might be?
I'm going to go with 13 most experienced. I'm going to go with 9.
Yeah, I was going to say 7.
The answer's 11.
Okay.
Yeah. 11 of their 13 most experienced guys. It's Yo and Nick Nat who are the two who won't be there. And then obviously Liam Ryan's just outside that list, and you can make a case that those 3 guys are the most important, 6 or 7 guys on West Coast list. So it's a lot.
But also in the same vein, like Nick Nat's sort of wiped out of that now in my head. Like he just doesn't.
A
he's
little
not
bit,
in that mix.
But there's not that critical mass now of top end experienced talent that's missing.
But it goes to highlight the whole point of when the smoke and the dust settles off this.
Yeah,
shit,
100%.
There is 0 behind those top 11 players.
Yeah. It then goes all the way down the list to like the
Jinby.
second, third year. Yeah, Ruben Jinby. He'd be the most experienced.
Oscar Allen's obviously in there, but there's not a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're
talking...
Tom
Barris. And here's Tom Barris with a couple of like little trade burblings.
There's been a bit of whisper from Sydney side of things.
They tried before, didn't they?
I have a funny feeling they might try again.
Yeah, okay.
They need to, right? Like their key position stocks are.
He'd be a very nice fit.
Well, it's funny, like we say that, but when the McCartan boys were doing what they did last year, we're like, that's all you need.
But we now see that you can't rely on.
And now they're both that knockout still for Pat McCartan was crazy. How it
didn't look like a lie.
Nothing did it?
Yeah, brutal. And the other little point I had was that Brisbane. It depends how the teams fall in the next couple of days tomorrow. But Brisbane is most likely going to field a less experienced lineup than West Coast.
Yeah,
by a matter of a few games.
They're in that black hole of like mid-table for average age, but 0. 30%. Bottom of the ladder.
You could almost go out with just the top 11.
Yeah. They count
what do you reckon Brisbane do? So Dunkley came off last week with ice on his calf.
No
they
chance.
said it was nothing.
Yeah, no chance playing.
He's been ruled out.
Has he already been ruled out?
I think so.
I think all but. Yeah.
Sorry, I might have missed that during my hour of
I don't think it's
Chinese medicine. Just
you got acupuncture, a bit of tea.
A bit of electricity through the body.
Did they cover the line?
Hello.
Do West Coast get within 82?
I've got them in my
the bookies are bloody.
Oh, do you? Oh, I don't want to spoil that.
How good are the bookies though?
82.
Like I enjoy having a flutter, and your ass is twitching from start to finish.
How often do they nail it?
They nail the.
And
often.
Yeah.
So Andy Brayshaw, we're banned him for life. Done for life. His line is always 29 and a half.
Yeah.
The last 5 weeks.
What, 28?
29. 5 weeks in a row. 29. Crazy.
Wipe him off.
Yeah, he's wiped.
I think they get within that, right?
You think they do?
It's a big, 82.
82 is a big number, and then you think, they've lost their last 3 interstate by 100 plus. And you go,
I think they do. Brisbane don't have the power of Hawthorn.
I think they might.
No, Brisbane destroyed someone a few weeks ago, but still. Yeah.
I think the defence is the key. To have Gov, but if Gov is somewhere near 100% and he's back, to go with Barris, to go with Hearn.
Is Gov come playing?
It sounds like he's more likely than unlikely.
Tommy Barras on the weekend gets saved. This is what I said. I think it might have been just
He was
after
terrific,
half-time.
yeah.
No, he saved 5 goals, but he gave 5 away pretty clearly. Trying to do way too much, sitting off his player, trying to read it.
He's trying to do something.
Trying to do too much, like trying to stop everything.
Yeah.
And then he went back to just stopping King, and he was brilliant again. So he had like a patch where he was sitting off trying to read it.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Paul, brilliant. Like it's fun to watch Tommy Barrass. I love him. Come to Papa. All right, Melbourne Footy Club. After they won the flag 2021, we started mentioning, this could be a dynasty. They won the first 8 games or whatever it was.
10 or something?
Wait, whatever it was. And now they're
I think it was 10, yeah.
They're annoying. Clary Oliver, did you see the argument today with Clary?
Sports science
I
guy?
don't mind that. Sports science has got a job to do. Clary's got a job to do. You don't trust the football.
But it sounds like he's missing again.
Yeah.
The tea leaves out of that.
Was that a
He's
sort
not
of
gonna
a
play again.
piss off? I'm never actually going to do that movement on the field. This is our play.
No, I reckon it would have been data. Something around data.
Yeah.
I would say, like these GPS.
Listen here, you nerd.
It doesn't feel like a big data guy, Larry.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean? Like you didn't hit speeds or you didn't hit power. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what it is? Anyway, I want to really quickly go through, and I just want yes, no, and there's a lot of players.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go to the ones that.
What's the question?
Have they improved at all since 2021?
Okay, let's do it.
At all. So yes or no? Let's go. Steve May,
No.
Van Rooyen,
Obviously,
yes.
Yep. Salem,
No.
Harms,
No.
Petrarca,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could argue that, yeah.
Grundy,
Has it got any worse?
Grundy,
Grundy,
most definitely
No.
not.
Viney,
You can make the case for Viney.
Save the course.
Lever,
No.
Probably not.
Spargo.
No, he's out of the
Yeah.
team.
He's in the twos, yeah. Brayshaw,
He's probably another one. He
around
might have
that,
taken
yeah.
a half step back, if anything.
Max,
No.
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 Lockie Hunter from the Dogs. There we go. Yeah, Clary, you'd probably say yes.
Clary, yes.
Michael Hibbard,
Not really.
no. Langdon,
He's still
Ed
pretty
Langdon,
elite, but
no, he
hasn't
hasn't.
improved.
no, he hasn't. Jake Melksham,
No.
Shaki.
No.
Sorry, I don't know why I coughed over
What
that.
is it?
But Adam Tomlinson, like their list is
Yeah,
not
no.
that good, and you go all the way down.
Cozzy?
And that's no.
No, I think because they were all better that year.
And they're all better that year. And then you've got your bottom 15 players there who you never heard of.
Yeah.
So my point is, we sort of ummed and ahed over 4 or 5 players.
They've all gone back and
They've
they
gone
haven't
backwards.
And they have less of a forward line now.
And they've gone backwards, and that's not including Ben Brown, Tom McDonald,
Yeah.
who have definitely gone backwards.
Yeah.
I just think that I'm done with Melbourne.
You're right. You're
Goodbye.
done. See you
They
later.
can't win the flag.
The one that
Big.
really gets me is the Christian Salem. That year was unbelievable. Off
Was
a
that
halfback.
injuries?
Yeah, I know, but he's just like I thought he was going to
Yeah.
He really come into his own. Justify.
I'd
that
like to see him play half
Josh
forward.
Kelly trade. Well, yeah, he's got that boot, doesn't he? Actually, as a finisher
bit of
going
class.
inside 50.
Because if you've got no forwards, you need someone at least put it to their chest a little bit. So I don't know. I'd consider Salem up the ground a bit further. But my point is, Melbourne, they haven't progressed. They've gone backwards. Don't worry about 2 rucks. Will it work? Won't it work? There's 80% of the list that haven't improved.
Yeah, well, there's
80%.
That 2 rucks thing is interesting when they're. Yeah, I think we
Waste
probably
of
covered
time,
this when
won't
they're
work.
both, but when they're both like top quality and have different attributes. But Grundy
A ruckman
does
doesn't
not
have
even,
a different attribute.
But Grundy doesn't even. Well, it's not like Luke Jackson does.
But we argue
He's a bit
he's not a ruckman. Is he a ruckman?
Well, that Grundy. Well, he's not even the top level anymore. Like he's just an ordinary ruckman.
Grundy wouldn't be in the top 10 ruckmen in the competition.
Well, that's a bit. Yeah, I could go at least 7 with absolutely no data behind it.
Yeah. We're not using data. We're Clary Oliver.
All right, what are the tops then?
Listen here, nerd.
Isn't it nerds?
Oh, I'd go Oscar, Big
Yeah.
O.
Kieran Briggs.
I'd go Sean Darcy. I'd go Kieran Briggs. I would go
Tim English.
O'Brien.
Tim English.
O'Brien
Elect.
Adelaide's had a good year.
Riley O'Brien. Jared Witts
Darcy Cameron, Jared Witts. Bang, bang. There's 2 more.
Nick, if you can get on the park.
I mean, without even trying, we're there.
Yeah.
Bailey Williams had a better year than Grundy. And I'm not even taking the piss. He's been about the only find at West Coast. Who you thought, I don't think he can play, so maybe you can hold a spot on the list.
Look, because I'm not employed to anymore. I haven't watched all those West Coast games, so I couldn't tell you. I couldn't give you a comment on Bailey Williams.
There's
Because I'm not contractually
I'm not
obliged.
contractually obliged to watch that.
There's 10
so I
there.
haven't been. You can get 10.
Easily.
Okay, I'm
Easily.
comfortable with that. You could get 10.
There you go, bang. And every 2-minute warning over Melbourne again, I'm skipping.
Now we just got to get it in before then. It's only 3 teams or something. They've got to slide down the ladder.
You're talking like a man who Melbourne wrecked their multi for.
You used to hate Melbourne
which
too.
happened to me last
It
week.
back
didn't
with a
take me. It
vengeance.
didn't take me long to come back.
No.
Talking about wrecking a multi, I saw a multi worth more than all our salaries put together over a few years, and the only leg that went down was Melbourne.
This was not that. This was the fifth leg of a 5-legger, and it was anyway. Carry on.
One the other week. He picked the first goal kicker in every game. He did. Bullshit. A couple of years ago, there were stories done on it.
Oh, right.
Like
did you not just say the other day?
Did I say the other day? The other year. Not the other day.
Time's a flat circle. Your point, Nick, off you go.
My point is, nice, he's steering the ship now, Robo. It's very in and out.
Good of you to be here.
Yeah,
together, forever. We will fight
come out of a union meeting. I'm revved up.
He's up. He's a delegate.
Ready for action.
Guest delegate.
Oh, there we go.
So, Stuart, you. Been bubbling along since Monday night. Oh, is it gone? I had to get it in. I was surprised someone didn't do it already.
Yeah, well, I just had two. Melbourne were pissing me off and Stewie Jew.
So it started Monday. It started a long time ago, but it ramped up on Monday. Caroline Wilson on Footy Classified saying it was a lot less pointed than. So Rhino messaged us on the Monday night, and then when Caroline's actually reported,
she messaged saying we went bang or something.
Yeah, we went bang.
Yeah,
it was a bit less pointed. She said expecting him to be sacked within the month.
It was still pretty pointed.
It's still pretty pointed, but it wasn't I thought it was this is done, like lock it in.
Yeah.
Expecting to be sacked within a month. They're talking to Damien Hardwick, his manages
on the Gold Coast as we speak.
And then it kicked off the next day. I think Stewie Jew then went and talked to Mark Robinson. Said Carey told him he sacked about 4 or 5 times without ever picking up the phone.
7 or 8, I think he said, or 6 or 7. Yeah.
And the players will back him in, whatever. And then there was a press conference today with Mark Evans, the CEO, and Stewie Jew. Together, which could have gone either way when you saw the alert come out. But he's basically said that he's done the old I have not talked to Damien Hardwick, which you can say because you would probably talk to his manager rather than him directly if the early stages.
No, but that doesn't hold up anymore.
But they still doesn't. But they would roll it out. You can roll it out straight face.
So Mark Evans has been with Stuart Jew since 2007.
Through Hawthorn and then, I mean,
that's, what's that, 15 years?
Yeah, and for them to go have a press conference together where he backed him in, it's a bit stronger than
if you're not backing him in. If you're not backing him in, you're not doing the presser. And they even spoke about extensions.
Well, yeah, he's got a contract to the end of next year already, and they spoke about, if they turn it around. It's feeding into that. I am pretty comfortable that they are. People have talked about them being behind where they were in other years. They've had a bad month, but I think over the
not a bit of a bad month. They'd also just come off beating Adelaide and Bulldogs, I reckon.
Yeah. So they were good.
They
before the bye.
Two Pories.
Yeah, and one of them was against the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Who spanked them.
Having said that, though, Collingwood just win. They don't usually bash anyone.
No,
they usually win by a goal.
It was all over interesting. It was all over.
That's why we love them.
But I think, I'm pretty comfortable that they have improved. You can see where they're going, and they go into this draft to get 3 first-round picks. So that's Jed Walter, who's their key forward academy kid.
Could be pick 2.
Well, could be 3. If he was open draft, he'd be pick 1. But they really do that.
In front of Harley Reid.
Oh, sorry, he'd be competing with Harley Reid for pick 1.
Yeah.
So he's probably 2. And then Jake Rogers, who's a mid, and Ethan Reid, who's a bit of a ruck forward.
Mm-hmm.
So they go into probably the only one of those who goes straight into it next year is a Jed Walter. You could chuck him in as a third tall.
Tuke Miller goes in though.
Yeah, and then Tuke Miller comes back in, and then everything's looking.
You get King. What do they say? 12 months off an ACL.
Yeah, 12 months off an ACL, and you've got people like I was thinking of Sam Flanders. Like you wouldn't be having this conversation a couple of years ago that there's a kid who just can't get it, like a really talented kid they want to have in the system, but he's not playing.
Yeah.
Because they just would have given games that would have been spots.
Correct.
So I think you're tracking in the right direction.
Not aggressively. A trickle in just a little trickle in the
right. I think that's the thing. Is a trickle enough to save a guy in his 6th season where he hasn't made finals yet?
Pretty low, coming from a pretty low base. I think next year they don't play finals, they're done.
I think that's it. I reckon that's the reason. I reckon Dewey in his own mind would go, that's fair.
Yeah.
If we can't get to finals next year, mate, it's a basket case joint.
Yeah.
And he's not, and someone said last night, what was I listening to? He's not responsible for pick 2 being traded for Weller.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Like list management did that. Having said that, I'm still looking at that trade more and more now.
But didn't they get Charlie Ballard?
Charlie Ballard was the pick apparently. I remember someone going, someone read like we need to revisit this trade, and I was like, Lockie Weller hasn't played, so what are we revisiting?
Yeah, Charlie Ballard.
It's like Charlie Ballard plus Lockie Whitfield. I'm like, Charlie Ballard's probably all Australian 40 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if not the side, right?
Hey?
If not the side, I can't think of too many others.
I think Darcy Moore will be a lock.
Yeah.
Harris Andrews is making a reasonably late play. He's dominating at the moment.
I think over the course of the year, Charlie Ballard's been better than Harris Andrews.
Yeah, no, but you don't get points.
No,
for
you get it.
finishing
It's a back end.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get extra points for finishing third.
Yeah.
like Brisbane
And
did.
you get
100%.
extra points for
If that's
building
the
into a
tiebreaker.
season rather than starting well and tailing off.
But also the selectors,
Yeah,
is it
true.
easier for them to throw in a Gold Coast person who people don't watch much Gold Coast, or is it easier to put Harris Andrews in for a third time?
It's the old, what we talked about, you got to take it off him?
Yeah, 100%. Who was it? Sarong was my case in point for that.
Someone, yeah, he's got to
He'll be in the 40, but is he going to take it off Bond?
Yeah. Well, Brendan Cox is another one I think might be in the 40.
He's had some patches.
Yeah, he was in last year, though, and he was the same sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think
But yeah, so are we comfortable that they're like...
Yeah, I'd be disappointed if he got sacked with a year left.
Yeah.
Sack another coach on the Gold Coast, what's that going to achieve? Damien Harvey's been on a Katiki for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, that's hardly... You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I reckon for Dimmer's sake, having 12 months off would be a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yep, totally.
Do the old Channel 7 contract. The Bucks, they all left and then
worked
did a
for a lot of
contract
them.
and then came back in.
Ross did it at Channel 9. Just wanted to give a shout out to one of my all-time favourites. No surprise here, Scott Pendlebury. Feel like this has gone a little bit under the radar this week.
Right.
He's going to break the all-time disposals record for
Really?
the AFL VFL this week. He's going to go past Robert Harvey
Have you got the
with his
people in the
14th
games?
disposal, which
Of
he
course
will
he does.
surely
Of course he does.
get. What do you have to say?
So like the top
whole list?
5 or whatever, and how many games they've played. So
Like
Pendles
Brent
must
Harvey
be...
would be up there.
Is Pendles 350?
Games-wise, 372.
372.
Like 372 games.
Harvey played 383. So he's
Yeah,
going to go
right.
past him with 10 games to spare,
Yeah, that's nice.
disposal-wise.
Where's like a Sam Mitchell and Ablett and those guys?
So
Didn't Brent Harvey play 400 games?
yeah, so he's third. So the list
Oh,
is...
sorry, Robert Harvey, Brent Harvey.
Yeah,
I got
so the list
confused.
is Robert Harvey, Pendlebury, who's about to be number one. Brent Harvey third.
With 400
KB
games.
is fourth, who
Okay.
played his 400 games as
Yeah,
well.
of course.
Gary Jr. is fifth. Craig Bradley sixth. Joel Selwood seventh. Then it's Sam Mitchell.
Joel Selwood, can I just table it? Is there any other team he wants to do like a leadership consultancy for? He's popping up absolutely
What a
everywhere.
holiday.
It's crossing all the sports
Yeah,
off his
wasn't he?
bingo card.
Yeah.
No. Do you know when I thought he's taken the piss moment? Because he's not a cricketer. Never been a cricketer.
Yeah.
But I copped that. I was like, righto, wear your Australian gear out at the Ashes. That's okay. When he's sitting in a car on the Tour de France, banging out the window for a cyclist going up one of the, what do they call when they ride over the rocky parts? On the Tour de France,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the cobblestones.
Yeah.
I can't have him hanging out the cobblestones. that's tipped me over the edge.
He's not hasn't busted out the lycra before.
I did I commented on his photo at Lord's the other day. I said, it looks like you're having a shit break. Anyway, someone's like, why'd you have to add that, you flog? I was like, mate, that's clearly a joke. Like,
Why wasn't he in the long room punching everyone out then?
Yeah, I thought about the old...
Joel.
Surprised he didn't walk out of the long room with some sort of head bandage on after being involved in it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Scuffle.
Selwood bashes 10.
Where Selwood Bashall's Gerard Piggledy-Cock or whatever their names were.
So those names were fake, by the way. Did
Were
everyone?
they actually
Everyone
fake?
took like 2 days to realise those names were not actually real.
My old man put it in our family group chat. My little brother was like, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
But it
it's
says
like, come
something
on,
about
guys.
the organisation that people were like, I'd cop that.
Yeah.
They were
Look at their
mildly
names.
believable, yeah. The question I want to pose is, there's been greater, as we've discussed. Has there been a more consistent, dependable, reliable player than Scott Pendlebury in the AFL era? The guy doesn't miss games. The guy has
I'd
averaged
probably go.
23, 24, 25, 26 for 16 straight years.
Other
Who
than-
has been
Well,
more...
what did Michael Tuck do? What were his numbers?
He's more VFL era. I'm talking
AFL
our
era, okay.
kind of
I
era.
think Junior, we still undersell a bit of Junior. I know he busted his shoulder.
In that
But-
game.
but even-
Pendlebury got a bit, you
But
get
even Junior,
unlucky.
he started his first like 3
Yeah,
or 4 or
100
5
games,
years when
something.
he was
Yeah.
just a small forward, and
Yeah.
then he became the junior.
But what
that
did
we know,
Pendles do the
and he missed some
first
time with
4
injury.
years?
But he got one of Norm Smith in his first 4 years, didn't he?
Pendles, yeah.
No,
year
what year did we draft?
5, Year 5.
Fifth.
So that was year 5.
6, 7,
So
8,
Pendles
9,
played,
10.
so Pendles played 9 games in his first year in 06.
Yeah.
Averaged 13, then averaged 19 in 07, and then these are his averages, disposal averages since then, the 16 years since then. 23, 26, 27, 30, 29, 30, 28, 29, 29, 28, 27,
Jeez.
27, 24, 23, 23, 24.
Do you know what's telling me he didn't do the extras to get over that hump?
Yeah,
He was stuck on 29. He wasn't given the extra 10%.
Shout out. Dependlebury. He's
we
the
like
guy.
it.
Well,
What do you
Stewie
got
Jew.
for us?
Have you guys heard about Stewie Jew?
No,
Yeah,
just
no,
what we
Stewie
do.
Jew.
All right, let's just quickly talk about what's making everyone mad at the moment. It's not a footy topic. The spirit of the game.
Yeah.
Cricket. When you saw it at the time,
Yeah.
straight away, what did you think with the Johnny Bairstow decision?
I've got no problem with it. I am pro Man-Cat as well, famously in my group of friends. No problem with it. If you know what, where you shouldn't get it, where you don't get running out, just stay in your crease.
Well, just look behind
Never
you.
seen a guy get run out. Never seen a guy get run out, stay in his crease.
Nick?
Never seen it happen.
I loved it.
You loved it?
I was the same. I love Man-Kids. And when it came out of that bloke giving Usman Khawaja the send-off the other week after he just put 140 on him, I love that too. I would have definitely done that.
What about the Lords,
I got no problem with that as well.
MCC members chanting cheats?
That's fine.
I had no problem with that at all.
No problem with that.
Absolutely no problem.
It was,
and I love the Aussie going back.
The only thing was it was unseemly in terms of like, whoa, this is jarring because it's not what we're used to in that scenario. But I have no problem. As long as nothing is crossed the line, it's fine.
I love that vision too, where it was like, oh, someone must have said something to get a response out of Usman Khawaja. Oh, there's Dave Warner.
So I heard Tim Payne interviewed yesterday, and he said, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when I saw Davey Warner's head pop through the gap. It was like, they asked for Usman, but they got Dave Warner. This could end very differently. For mine, I thought originally at the time, I was like, live reaction, I didn't like it. I thought clearly end of over, and he's walked out the other end. As it sort of folded on, I was like, mate, it's Johnny. He's sniffing for the Sunday roast.
You're the most oblivious man in the world, isn't he?
Stay there. And then he tried to do it himself, the Marnus. He threatened to do it to Travis Head.
Brendan McCullum's done it to every man under the sun in his career.
Even the one where they're talking about spirit of the game, Elliot from New Zealand, when he got
totaled
poleaxed
by Ryan Sidebottom.
And then they ran him out and was like, off you go, mate. It was like, what? Neither is at fault there. I'm like, the bowler ran into him.
Smashed him out of the way.
Anyway,
and then capitalised. Is there any footy
spirit of the game
rules,
for Vola?
Like footy-wise?
Spirit of the game for Vola.
19 men in the back line.
That's the only spirit of the game I could think of was when we stopped Fed from kicking 100.
Yeah.
What did the dollar figure get to that he was offering for you guys to just kick it to him?
It says 10,000 on it.
Yeah, right.
I think, it was weird.
So was that like how much was that a focus for you guys that day?
I think from my experiences, we jumped them at the start and smashed them.
Yeah, you were well ahead.
Smashed them.
So then at halftime, three-quarter time, is this getting spoken about?
And I think
it was only when
the
he
last quarter
when one goal away.
When they started taking the piss, and we were like, hang on, you weren't good enough to turn up and play properly at the start. You're not going to take the piss out of us now. So I think that's what got a few senior blokes going.
Yeah.
Was them running around backwards trying to find Feb, and we're like, no, it's not happening. And then we had a spare man defence or two.
What do you think? There's another one talking about these weird rules. I was watching Waffle W Grand Finals on Sunday week.
Mm-hmm.
No, Saturday week.
See it on streamer?
See it on streamer and Channel 7. But they had the last
playing?
touch. Claremont already in, and then East Fremantle and South Fremantle go this week to get in there. They have the last touch out of bounds between the 50s.
Yeah, hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah, hate it.
Yeah, I'm unsure on it yet.
Tell you what I also hate is a big dopey ruckman standing 50 metres back from the boundary line and then running in and then hitting it at hip level. I could get a midfielder to do that. Be very careful, ruckman, you'll lose your job. There you go.
It's just pulling that one out of the pocket.
That's just a side point. There you go.
All right.
Blow the horn. Blow the horn.
And one I wanted to table, and I'm still not convinced because I haven't heard the audio about my North Melbourne bet, but how bad are North Melbourne? They're obviously getting a pass this year because of West Coast, but here's where they're at. So 17th on the ladder, 68%, 2 wins, 13 losses. Last year they were 18th with 2 wins, 20 losses, 55%. Year before that, 18th, 4 wins. Year before that, 17th, 3 wins. Not coincidentally, but funnily enough, Adelaide were the last team that year.
Yeah.
Which is what was one.
I'll give North a few outs.
What are their outs?
They've had no coach.
Yeah, but that's this year.
Hang on.
Okay.
I'm giving them out this year. They had no coach this year. LDU, they're clearly their best player, has been injured for a large portion.
Are we
after Australia? Hang on.
Are we comfortable?
Simkin also their leader. What?
LDU their best player. LDU's played their best individual performances.
No, he's their best player.
Oh no, Larky.
Well, Larky's I
just think LDU doesn't do it.
I like Larky. Doesn't do it enough.
Doesn't do it enough. Lots of injuries and then has to rebuild.
I feel like you can make a case and say LDU's their best player and Larky's their most important player. Is probably how I'd have it in my mind.
Okay. Yeah, something like that.
His best is their best. I'm happy saying that with LDU.
Yeah,
I just don't see it enough.
Well, yeah, because he's always injured.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get up his games this year. Like
First couple, unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. And then he did a hamstring,
Yeah, there's that very, very late out.
a calf down in Tassie.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, so he's had 32, 30, 30, 23, 20, 25, 29, 22 and a goal. So he's been okay.
His first two, he gets 6 Brownlow votes, those first two.
Yeah.
Could even
The wins over West Coast and Freo, he was
And what did they do
amazing.
in the third game?
Yeah, I feel like
I think the third game was the super late out, or was it the fourth? It was either the third or the fourth.
missed round 3, so that was Hawthorn.
Yeah, it was that game, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know if they have an excuse for being that bad over a 4-year period.
Did you like my... it's hard to be off the bottom of the ladder.
But they seem to have the talent going through there. We just haven't seen the gains of some of it. This year we've got more. There's more good vibes around.
There's
with
more to like.
Sheasel.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they were bottom 2 or 3 next year. I'd be surprised.
Who's your bottom 2 next year? West Coast.
West Coast and...
Was not Hawks, Richmond, Carlton, Sydney, Gold Coast, Fremantle, GWS.
I think you can make a very strong case it's North again.
Yeah, maybe you can.
But well, okay. I'm just thinking Wardlaw, Sheasel.
Yeah.
Phillips has shown little things.
Yeah.
They
What
need
if
to
Carlton finish bottom 2 next year?
There's definitely sourdough starters there.
There's
definitely
sourdough there.
Yeah,
100%
You can
there
see
is.
it. But they've
Every club need
escaped.
their own thing.
Oh, a different food analogy for
Yeah,
all
I
18
don't know.
clubs?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's a different podcast.
Yeah.
They've definitely escaped
Joey's,
heat,
couple
though,
of
for
Joey's.
West Coast.
Of course
West Coast
they
has
have.
taken a
Yeah.
lot of the heat off North.
Yeah.
Melbourne.
But I would say, and another reason why is their kids are showing signs, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean, if Sheasel
Yeah.
and Wardlaw and those guys were
Yeah.
doing nothing,
Eddie Ford's shown a little bit.
Then it'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
They have a more clearly defined path forward.
Well, Sheasel and Wardlaw are in their best 10 players already.
Yes.
That's their first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we see? Is it Goldie's last game in 2 weeks? You reckon?
Yeah, surely.
You reckon they've spotted that Hawthorn home game done? Cherry's ready to go in the 2s.
Well, even if he
So
wanted...
when Jerry comes back, you mean?
Well, Cherry's been playing 2, so he had
Okay.
26 and 30 hit-outs or something on the weekends.
So if you're him and do you like...
And Goldie was subbed out.
Geelong just say you come on the minimum or 200.
No, Goldie's 36.
36, is
You
he?
say goodbye,
My
thank you
God.
for your time.
Okay.
You've been an exceptional ruckman.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's fair enough if he's that
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
How old do you think he was out of interest?
I don't know. I thought like 33. I thought you could roll the arm over one more time. 36 is old. All right. Now it's time for...
Hardball bets. Thanks to the Tab Touch app.
How you going here, Robbo?
Did you get another win last week?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
Freo cooked it for me.
Nah, so Jacko bet for me last week after the week before I got absolutely nutted by Angus Brayshaw. And decided to give West Coast a massive, West Coast will get done massively by St Kilda. And we're sitting there at halftime and Jackson just turns around and the press box goes, sorry, mate. Oh, gosh.
The
All right.
one. Well, you're unlucky, right? That's the one.
Gosh, honestly, yeah, a little bit. So I'm taking Brisbane in the first half to score 62 plus in the first half. I think they'll find it very easy against West Coast. Pies to beat the Dogs, and then the D's Saints total to go under 160 because Melbourne can't score at the moment. That's paying $5.75.
Just got a few legs
like
there
that.
again.
I'm just I've got to keep throwing at the stumps.
You gotta have
it's getting
one.
ridiculous. I've got to keep throwing at the stumps.
I have got... So St Kilda plus 13.5 against Melbourne.
Against the
just because,
Jays,
again,
yep.
I think Melbourne are
Because
going.
Melbourne might only scored 14.
And then I've just gone West Coast because it's been a long time since I've seen a margin that big. So West Coast plus 82.5
West Coast
against
at
Brisbane.
the line.
It's very... I've never seen one that large, so I thought I better have a dip there. That's $3.61 to get me back on the winners list. Got the touch this AFL season. Choose Tab Touch. Better your bet with Tab Touch. Gamble responsibly. Call Gamblers Help on 1-800-858-858. And this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show, proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do ute. We'll see you next time.